Well, good morning, friends. It is Saturday, February 6th, and we are gathered for our morning devotion. And today's comes from Psalm 114. It's entitled, God's Wonder at the Exodus. When Israel went out from Egypt, the house of Jacob from a people of strange language, Judah became God's sanctuary, Israel his dominion. The sea looked and fled, Jordan turned back. The mountains skipped like rams, the hills like lambs. Why is it, O sea, that you flee? Or Jordan, that you turn back? O mountains, that you skip like rams, O hills like lambs? Tremble, O earth, at the presence of the Lord, at the presence of God of Jacob, who turns the rock into a pool of water and flint into a spring of water. Short and sweet today, God's wonder at the Exodus. And so what we have here is just kind of a reminiscence of what God has done for the Hebrew people, for God's chosen people. Sent them out of Egypt. They looked at the sea and the sea fled. The Jordan turned back when they crossed the Jordan River to get into Jerusalem. The rock turned into a pool of water. All these are great stories in the Exodus story of Moses and Joshua and how they fled Egypt. It's pivotal in the Jewish culture, this story of the Exodus. And it's pivotal to us as Christians in the life and times of Jesus. And so what I invite you to do is, you hear these words and how wonderful God has done with the Exodus. I invite you to read those words in Exodus. Read about the stories of Moses and the plagues. Read about the people crossing the Red Sea, going to Mount Sinai to receive the covenant, crossing the Jordan. Hear those stories and see how vitally important they are to our faith. For God has freed his people from slavery and captivity, and so we equate that as Jesus freed us from slavery to sin and death. God has given us an exodus out from the world of evil. Pivotal stories in our faith. So I invite you to go forth and to take some time just to read those stories.